An elderly carpenter was ready to retire. He told his employer contractor that it's been a long time since I've been in this house building business, and I think it's time that I retire. I stop doing this and I spend time with my family and relatives in our village. The employer was fine with this, and he was a little bit sad to hear this because this meant that he would have to let go of his best worker. So he asked this carpenter just one more thing. He said, "You can retire and you can live your peaceful life, but can you build one more house as a personal favor for me?" The carpenter naturally said yes. He started working on the project. He spent day and night. From the outset, if anybody would see him, they would say that he's very dedicated. He's an amazing carpenter. But the employer could sense that something was not right. This was not the carpenter's best work. He was using shoddy material, he was not using very good material, he was not doing things properly, he wasn't actually taking those measurements properly, he wasn't smoothing everything out properly, and the employer felt that this was a bad way to end his career. So he did not say anything though, and the carpenter went on with this work. He was not enjoying it, and at the end, he just got done with it. It wasn't a very good house, it was built on cheap material, not very good quality of designing and all. And when this whole project was complete, the carpenter was ready to retire, he was happy. That's the time when the employer came in and said, "This house is yours, and as for what all you have done for me over these years, this is my small gift." The employer reached out for his pockets, picked out those keys, and offered them to the carpenter. The carpenter was in disbelief. He was in shock. He felt that if he had given his best, he would have made this house completely different if he had known that this was his house. He never thought of it that way, and now he had to live in a house that was shoddy, not well built, and all of those things. He did not like that house, but he still had to live in it. That is the sad reality that almost all of us go through in this world. We don't take ownership for what we do. We don't assume that it is our responsibility to always and always give our best, and that it's our responsibility to accept our failures, to accept our successes, and always keep giving our 100% to keep growing and learning new things. Just like this carpenter did, we don't give 100% to our work. We use cheap material, we cut some costs, we do basic work, and that does not lead to good results. Eventually, it finds a way of coming back to us. Sometimes it's that, like the carpenter, that work is just handed back over to us, or that it comes back in some indirect way. But not taking ownership has its own consequences that we all have to pay. The problem is that we like to always take ownership for our success. Whenever we succeed, we say that yes, I am the best. I did this, I did that. In our companies, when we go and when we tell our bosses, I did this project was successful because of me. But when another project becomes unsuccessful, we start pointing fingers at others around us. That no, it was his fault, it was his idea, she failed in execution. And you never take the blame, you never take the ownership for the failure on yourself. The truth is that the people who become successful take ownership for both their failures and successes, and the people who remain mediocre, the people who live an unhappy life, and the people who just are unsuccessful only take ownership for the things that they are good at and blame others when they fail or when they are unsuccessful. That is what keeps them behind. Let's take this example of Honda CEO. In 2012, when they launched the Honda Civic, it was not performing well. The sales were down 15% than expected, which is a lot. And the CEO did not push the blame on anybody else. The CEO came out, publicly addressed this problem, and he said that we have failed in this, but we will improve on it. And the next year, they launched a better and improved Honda Civic based on the reviews and the suggestions they had gotten from their customers. The CEO could have easily said, it was a problem in our ideation team, or it was somebody else's fault, and that it was not his idea, or that somebody else built this, whatever. He could have come up with any excuse possible, but he did not. And that is what helped Honda succeed afterwards. In the same way, in our life, we cannot only take ownership for our success. We have to take ownership for both our failure and our success. Because when we take ownership for our failure, we're able to reflect, we're able to retrospect, and with that reflection and retrospection comes a newfound understanding. And that understanding is the most valuable lesson in life because it comes from experience. You just haven't learned about it in a book, or you just haven't read a blog post about it. You have practically experienced it, and that is what matters the most. One thing that I see, I have been learning some things, and I have been finding some things about the financial markets. I have some kind of interest in them, and I have come across this very interesting point that often happens. When an investor or a trader picks a stock, performs well, and it performs well, they come on Twitter, they come on other platforms, they say that I picked this stock, my analysis is great, and that is why it succeeded, that is why this investment was great, I am the expert of the market. Everybody says it to themselves when their trade goes right. But the next day, when their investment or their trade goes down, they say, I was right, but the market was bad. The market changed, the market turned unexpected, and all of those things. They don't accept the fact that they still need to learn, they still need to grow, and that they still need to understand that their failures are also their responsibility. The market did not make them fail, they made themselves fail. And when they think of it that way, they are able to find out what are they lacking, whether it is a proper strategy, whether it is something else and something else. They're able to figure out exactly what is lacking, and that allows them to grow and learn more and more. This is why taking ownership in life is so important. When you take that ownership, you get into that leadership position, because you're not just putting blames on everybody, you're not saying that the senior management was bad, somebody else was bad, whatever. You are leading the way because you know exactly what went wrong, you accept that, and then you are improving on it as well. So, whether you are an employee, a freelancer, a student, a digital coach, whatever you do, you need to assume responsibility for everything that happens, whether it is caused by you or not. Let's take this example. It was that a company had arranged a big event for meeting its investors and all, and 600 people were going to attend that one day event. They had sorted everything out, they had catered everything out, but one problem came up in between. The executive who was supposed to contact the catering company and tell them that these were the requirements forgot to tell about orange juice. In 30 minutes, they were going to have breakfast, and those 600 people are going to be there, and they needed that orange juice. What one person did was that they informed about the problem to their senior management, and it was done. That sales executive said, we don't have orange juice, we need it, please order it. Done. The other persons came in and said, I contacted the catering company, and they said that it would cost $1 extra per person. So are we ready to pay $600 for getting that orange juice? That was decided. He just informed that, and he took one step further. Another sales executive came in and said, okay, I've contacted the catering company, they're going to deliver it in 15 minutes, and I've gotten the approval from our boss that we're going to pay $600 to get this thing done. When can we send that? This person took another step further, and they were still seeking approval. But then came the leader, another sales executive. He was on the same level. What he did was, don't worry, I contacted the company, I have told them that we will pay the $600, I've paid that, and now they're coming with juice and they'll be here in 10 minutes. Problem solved. Instead of going back and forth with the management and all of that stuff, this employee, this sales executive assumed ownership, assumed responsibility, felt that it was his part to do this, because even though the problem was not caused by him, he was a part of that company. He was a part of that organizing that event, and he took that action, he took that step. In the same way, whatever you are doing, if you fail at something, you need to accept that and you need to see how you can improve. If you succeed at something, you need to accept that, you need to give yourself a pat on the back, and then you need to see how you can improve more on that as well. It's that simple. Taking ownership is not difficult at all. The only reason we avoid it is because we will need to let go of our ego and the idea that we are the best. When we take ownership, we explore and we exhibit our vulnerable areas. We exhibit those vulnerable spaces where people can find that, okay, this person is not very good at this person failed. And out of the fear that somebody will judge us, we don't take that responsibility and we end up becoming a normal person, a mediocre person who just follows somebody and does not become a leader. In psychology as well, this is well understood and this has been well studied. If you find out that you are late to something or that something is happening but you are unsure of taking a decision, you are unsure of taking a stance, it often happens that other people around you will also not take that stance. That is how social proof and all of those things work. And that is why 95% of people remain unsuccessful. They think that the other person should take the step and they should not. They don't make decisions, and that then affects them badly in their personal life too. Not accepting and not taking ownership affects you in your personal life as well, because you become doubtful of understanding your own decision making ability. Whenever you have to make a decision, you feel that, nah, I'm not sure if this would be great, I'm not sure if this is the right one, and you just don't make those decisions. Your self confidence, your self belief starts to plummet down and down and down, and that's how it becomes. You become a follower, you don't become a decision maker and a leader, and it causes you to ungrow in life. It causes you to go down in life, and that is a big problem. The reason why most people spend hours trying to figure out which TV to buy isn't because they're really confused about the TV they want to buy from the electronics shop. The main reason that they're taking hours is because they're unsure if they have made the right decision for themselves or not. They know their requirements, they know exactly what they want in the TV, they know their price point, their budget, and the TV they are seeing fits all of these categories, but still they are unsure of buying. Why? Because the problem is not in the TV, the problem is in themselves. They don't know how to make the right decisions, and that becomes a big problem. It's just like the saying goes, you can't keep cleaning the mirror if the dirt is on your own face. Cleaning the mirror, cleaning the external sources, or saying that you are right always and all of those things will never lead you to any results. By taking ownership, by accepting that yes, you have failed and you are wrong, you clean that dirt off your face and you are able to go to a better position. That is how it works. So, you need to start assuming more and more responsibility. You need to take ownership for everything that surrounds your business, even if it's not directly linked to you. If it is somewhere coming linked to you, whether it's indirect or whatever, you need to take that action, you need to take that step very carefully, and you need to be the owner of those actions. So let me give you my example. I have a YouTube channel, I make videos, and I do so many things. I write blog posts and all of that. If one day I fail to publish my blog post, I won't say that, oh, it was because I had to go on a family outing or because I fell ill and all of those things. I will accept that I failed to write that blog post, I failed to make that video, and then I'll retrospect on how I could have done it better. It's that simple. You don't need to put the blame on your illness, you don't need to put the blame on your relatives coming to your house. None of that. If you know what you want to do, if you're clear on that, and if you are a true leader, then you will start taking ownership for each and everything. When you take ownership, you start accepting more and more responsibility, and with that responsibility, as I said, you get better at decision making. When you get better at decision making, you are able to choose the right things in your life, and you're able to then succeed and grow even more. The thing is that we feel that by accepting our failures or by accepting all of those things, we will face some kind of consequences. The truth is that by not accepting that, by not taking ownership, we face the biggest consequences of all, and that is remaining mediocre in our lives. So, if you truly want to scale to that next level, if you want to scale your business to the next level, if you want to grow yourself to the next level, taking responsibility, taking ownership, and becoming a leader is the only thing that will lead you there. So, what do you choose now? Do you choose to take ownership, or do you choose to become a follower, become a normal person and leader, unhappy, unjoyful, and all of that kind of very unhappy and unmeaningful life? Think carefully and choose the first option of becoming a leader and taking that ownership, because that will always lead to better and happier results. Thank you very much for watching this video.